Hello and welcome to Toto TCG. You are here with me, Matthew, and we are back here with another Pokemon video. Now this one is slightly different. We're taking a small break from the GXs to bring you some Celestial Storm promos. So these are going to be the pre-release promos that we're going to be getting. Again, there is going to be 4 of them. So very, very cool stuff indeed. And there's some pretty interesting ones. Definitely very, very interesting indeed. Some very odd choices, I'd say, in terms of Pokemon. The actual cards themselves are pretty good. I have to say, though, before I go into this, I've put them in an order in which I think they're going to be best useful. I think they're all pretty good in their own unique way, but I've had to really try and narrow it down to being first to last. So bear with me and let me know your thoughts as well with what order you think they should be in. Am I correct? Am I wrong? Am I missing something? Let me know in the comments below. But what are the promos? Well, the promos look a little bit like this. So we have Kyogre, Manetric, Celesteela and Delcatty. Very interesting choices indeed. I understand the Celesteela. We did have Zergatry and Pheromosa in the previous one. Delcatty is actually quite odd. I don't know what the heck's going on with that one. Maybe it's to do with the ability, but hey ho, I mean it's a promo. I don't know whether it's going to be a fan favourite. Kyogre, pretty interesting, although they haven't included Groudon, so that's a little bit of a what's going on there. Manetric is pretty cool, I have to say. It's pretty cool. Good choice. It's out there. It's very different. It's not a basic, just like Delcatty. So, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. So, which one have I rated number 1 out of all of these? Well, we went with Manetric. So, this is the actual card. This is the Japanese card. This will be the one that you'll get from the packs. Obviously, it's not the promo. So I'm showing off the artwork for what you're also looking out for in the packs as well. So we have Manetric. Of course, it does evolve from Electrike. It is an electric Pokemon, and so is Electrike, if you are wondering. Now let's go through some of the moves as well. As well as that, the HP is 110. Forgot to mention that. So the ability, Electric Start. If you go second, and if this Pokemon is in your hand when you are setting up to play, you may put it face down as your active Pokemon or on your bench. Now I have to say that ability is pretty cool. Now I'm thinking of pre-releases. This is nothing to do with competitive or playing it outside of a pre-release. This is pre-release only. You are given a 40 card deck. Bearing in mind that if you do get this promo, I'm guaranteeing that at the very back you will probably get another one, which will probably be this artwork. You're guaranteed to, I think, normally you have your promo, and if it's an evolution Pokemon, say for example it was Magnezone from previous ones, not that that was a promo, but it was in there, you would normally have a 2-2 line. So you would have your Electrics, you'd have your Manetrics. So more than likely you're guaranteed to get 2 of these. Now, in a 40 card deck, plus the fact that you could pull these from the packs as well, so there is that as well. So this could be pretty interesting. You don't even need Electrike to play this. Although it does actually say if you go second and if this Pokemon is in your hand. Now normally you would call first or second first. Now what I would definitely say is that if you are asking someone heads or tails and you know you have this in your deck, you make sure to go second. Number 1, you can attack, which is pretty cool. Especially for just 1 lightning as well, that's pretty cool. But going second, you can attack. And being able to play 110 straight away HP Pokemon is just really, really cool. Obviously, you would still need to have Electrike just in case you don't get this in your starting hand. However, it's really, really cool for that ability alone. Next move, for 1 lightning, double charge. It does 40 damage. You may attach up to 2 basic energy cards from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. Now, it does say you have to attach 2 to 1. It's not 2 to any, it's 2 to 1. It doesn't say you have to put 2. You can do up to 2. So if you have 1 in your hand, place 1 down. Fair enough. You're at least charging up someone. At least it could even be an Electrike or a Manetric on the bench. You never know. So that is definitely something to have in mind there. Very, very cool. That's probably why I've rated it number 1 here. That ability is going to be pretty cool in pre-release. That's what I'm getting at, pre-release. being able to have this in your hand to start with and have a HP of 110 straight away with a pretty decent attack for a pre-release at least, and have that sort of added effect of being able to charge energy is pretty cool. So yeah, definitely number one. That's definitely number one on my list to look out for. Number two on my list is going to be Kyogre. So Kyogre, this is the Japanese card. Obviously, it's a basic Pokemon, so that's definitely an advantage in a pre-release. You can just play it straight away, and you have a Pokemon with a HP of 130. Now, I don't know whether you'd get two of these. I'd like to think so. Most of the promos, you would normally get two of them. Now, obviously, in this one, it is a holo, which means probably in the set it's going to be a holo. However, if you do get it in this pack, it's probably not going to be a holo. If you get anything in a pre-release, it's normally not a holo. For example, Magnezones in the previous ones. There's been several other cards which you sort of get, and they're not holos. The promo is, but not the actual card in the pre-release pack. The actual card packs that you get, it probably will be a holo, for example. So, what can this Kyogre do? So, it is a basic. The first move for Water and Colorless is Dual Splash. This attack does 30 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. So, of course, you can attack. It reminds me of a sort of weakened Tapu Koko. I want to call it that. It's not doing everything to the bench, but it is doing a stronger attack. You're doing 30, not 20. You're not spreading it all over the bench, but at least you're getting some damage done, which is pretty good, especially if you can get this going early game. 2 energy is not that hard to power up. Of course, we're talking pre-release, so there isn't any aqua patches or anything like that. But 2 energies in a pre-release is pretty much easy to get. And being able to do 30 to your opponent's active and one of their benched, or maybe you target both benched, so you can at least get that sort of stuff going. I find that first attack very, very cool indeed. The second one, for just another water energy on top of the previous attack, does Grand Wave, 120 damage. I'll be brutally honest, if you're doing the Dual Splash, you're pretty much going to knock out a lot of Pokemon with 120 in a pre-release. If they have a GX, you'll want to be getting that Dual Splash on the GX, 100%. You want to get those GXs gone. Bearing in mind that pre-release you only have 4 prizes, so getting 2 prizes very early in the game is going to really annoy your opponent. And be able to actually stop your opponent from using that GX is going to be even better. So definitely something to have a look at there. But doing 120 damage is pretty cool. However, you're not allowed to use it during the next turn, which is fair enough because you can just crack on with Dual Splash still. So you've still got 2 moves here. It's not as if it's just limiting you to just one. You have 2. Dual Splash, I think, is the big go-to here. Really good. You want to get that out straight away. If this is in your hand when you start, put this up straight away and start powering it up on turn 1. You need to get those Dual Splashes going very, very quickly. Pre-releases can be extremely quick. Sometimes they can go on, sometimes they can really be quick. You can finish within 4 rounds. It's really stupid sometimes. But it's fun. It is definitely fun. This is why I've put it number 2. It hasn't got an ability, but that first attack is definitely an up there attack, and being able to be a basic is really, really cool. I definitely like that a lot. Now, what to mention, I didn't actually mention this in the Manetric one, and I can remember this, is that Manetric actually has free retreat. So that is amazing. That is really, really cool. However, Kyogre has a retreat of 4. So, yeah, he's doing pretty well. He definitely needs some escape boards. Unfortunately, they won't be in pre-release, which is kind of annoying. But 4 retreat is a little bit... You're not piling on energy to get that 4 retreat. So if this guy goes up, pretty much let him get KO'd, because there's no point attaching energies to this for it to be KO'd and lose 4 energies. Attach the 3, crack on from there, do what you can. Who knows? There might be a stadium or an item or a Pokemon that comes that is in the pre-release which can switch, which would be pretty cool. So fingers crossed that will happen. But Kyogre is number 2 for me. So number 3, we then move on to Delcatty. So that is the holo card. I can't believe Delcatty is a holo in the set, but that is the holo card right there. So if this does have a 2-2 line with Skitty, then the other card probably won't be a holo. It'll probably look like this, but it won't be a holo. So this is number 3. Why is it number 3? Well, let's go through a few things. It is a colourless Pokemon, which means it is weak to fighting. Now, that's not bad during the pre-release. There's no Buzzwole, so don't worry about that. It has a retreat of 1. That is pretty cool. It has an ability, which we'll get into at the moment. The HP is 90. Now, that's the only thing that sort of bugs me slightly. Skitty, I think, was 50 or 60, I think. Then it goes up to just 90 for a stage 1. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely not one that you want to be keeping in the active. That's what I'm sort of saying. It'd be good, don't get me wrong. That ability, Search for Friends, when you play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon during your turn, you may put 2 supporter cards from your discard pile into your hand. Now, for example, this could be pretty good with Kukuis, Sophocles. I'm thinking of the cards which are normally in pre-releases. They normally don't throw Guzmas in there. They might throw Cynthia in. I think they put Cynthia in Forbidden Light. So you might have a Cynthia. You could have... they're more than likely going to have Sycamore... No, not Sycamore. Sycamore? Where am I going? Sophocles and Kukui. So they're probably... Maybe even Lily. Lily is definitely one as well, because that can help with piling up your hand a bit more. So to be able to get that from your discard pile is pretty cool. Bearing in mind, it does say when you play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon. So you can't really do it turn 1 and think, yes, I've got a Delcatty. Oh no, there's nothing in my discard. So yeah. Definitely one I think that has to be on the bench. And for a double colourless, Cat Kick for 40 damage. Yay. 40 damage. Yikes. For 2 energies, bearing in mind there probably isn't going to be any... I'm going to say there's no double colourless. There shouldn't be. There shouldn't be any double colourless. If there is, I'll be very surprised. So it does have its positives and it does have its negatives, which is why I put it at number 3. I don't think it's the worst. Not to say that any of these are bad. This is the only thing. I don't want to make it sound like these are bad, but some of them do have negatives, some of them do have positives. They're all sort of an equal bunch. They all have... It's hard to explain. Some of them are really good, some of them are really bad. I think the ability here definitely raises this one up. Being able to get the supporter back, so you can either play a Kukui and try and get 20 extra and obviously draw 2 cards, which would be really cool. The attack itself, no. I don't think this is worth it. The HP, no. Retreat, good. I think the retreat is good with just 1. You could even just put 1 energy on here, so if they do manage to even drag it up, you can just retreat it, bang. You can just crack on from there. So yeah, Delcatty is my number 3. Number 4! I wonder which one's number 4. Well, number 4, unhappily, unfortunately, is Celesteela. Now, Celesteela. Let's talk about Celesteela. So it is a metal Pokemon. It has a HP of 140, which is the highest out of all of these. Being a basic Pokemon as well, pretty cool. Ultra Beast as well. I'm not saying you're going to get Ultra Space, but it has access to Ultra Space. In competitive, not in pre-release. Now, the attack is something else. 1 metal, 4 colourless for Moonraker for 160 damage. Now, this is where this card can get a little bit broken. If the total of both players' remaining prize cards is exactly 6, this attack can be used for 1 metal. Right, so this is good. This is good for one reason. Pre-releases, you normally only have 8 prizes to begin with. If, for example, you and your opponent take 1 card, you are then down to 6. Bring up Celesteela, bang, you can get a Moonraker off for just 1 metal energy. That is pretty cool. That's the reason I've sort of put it down below. As much as it's the highest Pokemon, as much as it's an Ultra Beast, the attack, the 1 attack, is just for 5 energy. Could be for 1, but we'll say 5. The fact that you have to have exactly 6, it doesn't say 5/6. Some Ultra Beast normal cards will allow 4 to 5 or 3 to 4, that sort of thing. The fact that it is just 6 means it's just a one-off time that you can use 1 metal. For 160 damage, that is more than likely going to knock out a lot of stuff in the pre-release. If they have a GX, it's going to be questionable. If it's Mr. Mime, though, and it's only got 150, this thing's going to be taking names. So that is pretty cool. I have to say, I mean, obviously this is a holo in the set. This artwork right here looks absolutely insane. Do I see this at all getting played in competitive? I don't think so. I really don't think so. To be able to actually get your prizes both sides down to 6 is very hard. That means 3 and 3 or 4 and 2, something like that. It can be a sort of like turning it around, but I really don't want to be powering on 5 energies to this thing. More than likely, and I'm going to say this, more than likely, my first pre-release, I will more than likely get this thing. Will I be happy? Yes, I will, because, I mean, it's pretty cool. It has to be said, it is a pretty cool card. The fact that it is a basic, hopefully as well, if we get the pre-release pack, there should be 2 of these. So you should get the promo, and you should get a non-holo version of this. So that is pretty cool in my books. Pretty cool indeed. It has a weakness to lightning, has a resistance to fighting, so that's not bad, and a retreat. Hello, retreat. It's a 4 retreat. Now, bearing in mind, if you are piling up, if you're piling up 5 energies and you retreat, that's 4 energies gone. Now, during pre-releases, a lot of people seem to play a lot of energies. Now, the reason for that is because some people will use the deck that they're given. Some people will add cards that they get from their booster packs. The remaining cards, you can't exactly go into your other decks and be like, oh, I fancy a Sycamore. No, nothing. No, you're not allowed. A lot of people just bulk it up with energy. Now, sometimes having a lot of energy is super good, and sometimes it can hinder you from actually finding stuff that is really useful, say supporters. Now, another good thing is, if more than likely this pre-release will have a Sophocles. If you discard 2 energies, you're getting 4. Now, I had a lot of times where I Sophocles in the Forbidden Light one, and I managed to pull about another 3 or 4 energies from discarding 2. So you can get pretty lucky with what you get. But Celesteela is definitely number 4. It's unfortunate, but it's going to have to do. That's my personal opinion. I'd like to know, though, from you guys, what your thoughts are on these guys. Do you think they're in a different order for you? Do you think that I've missed out something? Is one of them game-breaking? Could one of them be competitive? Let me know in the comments below. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it here for this video. I just wanted to sort of have a little look at these promos, see a few of the cards coming up in the set. One thing to also note as well is that all of these cards are from SM7. They are not from Champion Road at all. None of them. Which I find unfair. I personally find that unfair. A lot of these are... It seems as if this whole, how can you say it? The whole set, Celestial Storm, is very space orientated. Now, there is a Rayquaza Gx, which we haven't seen yet, but we will be having a little look at. There's another Ultra Beast, which I won't mention, but that is coming up. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It is definitely interesting that they didn't pick any of the Champion Road cards. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, like, because normally if you have like a water starter, say for example Kyogre, they normally give you water Pokemon to go with it, or colourless. Now the only water Pokemon I can think of that have like a 3 evolution is Swampert and Fraligator. Now, Fraligator is from Champion Road, whereas Swampert is from the actual SM7 set. So, yeah, there is definitely that to have a little think about. But it's pretty cool nevertheless, and maybe I'm going to leave it here before I just waffle on too much. Hopefully I will be able to get a GX video out as well today. I want to try and get those sort of up to date, because Celestial Storm is coming out pretty soon. It's July... When is July? July in 2 days' time from this recording. So yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. But there we go, guys. I will leave it here. If you have enjoyed, then make sure to hit that subscribe button below. Of course, Celestial Storm pre-releases will be coming up on the channel. We'll be having gameplay, unboxings, everything. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. I've booked all of them. I literally booked them today. Once this was revealed, I was like, yes, I'm going. Sorted. But yeah, there we go. I'll leave it here, and I will see you guys hopefully in the next video coming up today.